Ms. Legalista here. Welcome to the video. We are going to be talking about this Colonial Penn $9.95 insurance, whether it is worth it or not. We're going to be talking about this guy named Jonathan something. There's a whole blog article, and this company is just really going after him. We're going to take a look at his LinkedIn page. Then we're going to see how the state, or excuse me, the Commonwealth of Virginia came after Colonial Penn for some of its advertising, saying that, you didn't do what you were supposed to do, you maybe misrepresented some things, and what kind of settlement they entered into to clear this all up. But is this a racket? Is this something you should be buying or not? Let's first head over to this article so that you can take a look at it. Now, first of all, let me point out something. The company that has this article is Choice Mutual, who, as you can see, has its own products that it is selling. So Colonial Penn may have been a great target for them to say, oh, let's go after the competition here. I'm just presenting this information that they have in here so that we can take a look at it and so that you can consider it when you say, hey, should I buy this $9.95 policy? Now, the first thing that I want to point out is that they titled this with the guy's name. I don't know if you've ever seen this commercial with him in it, but the moment I saw his picture, I was like, I know that guy.
I'm Jonathan, a manager here at Colonial Penn Life Insurance Company, to tell you it is possible. If you're age 50 to 85, you can get life insurance.
I have seen that guy in these commercials. So the title of the article is Colonial Penn Actor Jonathan Lawson Hides the Truth. Wow. Like they totally came after him on this. And one of the reasons I guess I find this interesting is because he's just an employee, is my understanding. I don't know that he owns the company. The dude's got a job. I guess they're paying him to do a job. And it's sort of sometimes hard to knock somebody if they need a paycheck. You got to kind of have a paycheck to buy food, put a roof over your head, get to work in a vehicle or something like that. I don't know why they found it necessary to name this whole thing after him and to tie him to it. Maybe because they felt like he was this person who was out there in this advertisement and promoting this product. And they were sort of like, if you're going to do this, then we're going to point out everything that's wrong with what you're doing and we're going to stick your face to it. I think it's very interesting that they have gone this far with it. And let's see exactly what they're saying about him as we break down this article and whether or not this Colonial Penn insurance that he is selling is a fraud, is a scam, is a racket. You could do better, I think, is what the article is saying. Jonathan Lawson is the current actor in Colonial Penn commercials since Alex Trebek's death. Now, you may remember Alex Trebek from Jeopardy! He's an actual employee of Colonial Penn and gets paid to promote and endorse the $9.95 plan. Now, what if you're just an actor truly and you're being hired to promote this? Would you take this job? Would you take this job? How much would they have to pay you to take this job? It says, despite his charming demeanor, the fact remains that Jonathan Lawson's comments about how good Colonial Penn's life insurance is are simply untrue and not backed by evidence. For example, the Colonial Penn $9.95 plan is arguably one of the most expensive options on the market despite its seemingly low price. And notice how they stick over here beside this whole little picture of Colonial Penn and their Choice Mutual rating of 1.0. It says here it's determined by their editorial team, okay? They take into account consumer experience, policy costs, underwriting criteria, the insurer's financial strength ratings, and complaint data. How many people are complaining about this product? As the saying goes, the devil is in the details. $9.95 only buys a senior $418 to $2,000 in coverage. How many of you actually pull out those contracts and read those things from beginning to end to know what you're actually buying? So right now I'm feeling like I need to go pull out some life insurance policies and get to work with the reading. It says here, depending on your age and gender. In addition, every Colonial Penn policy has a 2-year waiting period. Now, that's a really big issue too, right? Learn the truth about who Jonathan Lawson is, what he promotes for Colonial Penn, and how you can find much better final expense life insurance options from other insurance companies. So here's where they try to put themselves in this sort of non-biased position. We're just going to put the facts out there, not about just our company maybe, but about a number of other companies out there, what they're sharing and whether or not it's a good deal. But again, notice how they throw Jonathan Lawson's name back in there. And then they start the title of this next section with, who is Jonathan Lawson of Colonial Penn? Jonathan Lawson is a Colonial Penn employee who appears in TV commercials promoting the Guaranteed Acceptance $9.95 plan for seniors. He is not just a paid endorser like Alex Trebek was. His LinkedIn profile, you guys, they they put his LinkedIn profile in here. So let's pop over there and see what his LinkedIn profile actually says, if we don't have to see all of my stuff up here. So here we have Jonathan Lawson's picture. And that's when I realized, hey, yes, I have seen this guy and the commercials that they're talking about. This is Jonathan Lawson. It says he's Director of Quality Assurance and Escalations. And if you scroll down here, you can see he's been at Colonial Penn Life Insurance for 9 years and 9 months. This is the 9 months. This is his experience here. And Director of Quality Assurance and Escalations at CNO Financial Group. And you can see his education there and some of the other work that he has done, some of his interests. So back in this article, like I said, I'm still surprised that they even had that link there. They're really coming after him in this. But back in the article, it goes, his LinkedIn profile shows his title. After graduating from high school at 18, he went to Pierce College, earning a Bachelor of Business Administration, and now works for Colonial Penn. He also served in the Marine Corps for 14 years as a master instructor. Like, who gives the bio of the actor who has been hired to promote the product? Well, I guess in this case, like I said, I think they're really coming after him. He's an employee slash actor. Look at how they titled this. How does the Jonathan Lawson 995 plan work? Like, if you call up Colonial Penn and say, hey, I want the Jonathan Lawson deal, is that really a title for them? I mean, they are really putting these two together for a reason. The 995 plan Jonathan Lawson promotes is a guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance policy that does not require you to answer health questions. So immediately people are like, oh, great, I don't have to do all of that. It's guaranteed acceptance. I'm guaranteed to be accepted and be able to get this coverage. Regardless of your medical history, you cannot be denied coverage. You guys, this sounds familiar, right? You've heard these commercials. Since it's a whole life final expense policy, the premiums will never increase and the policy won't expire due to age. Additionally, the coverage won't decrease in value and it will build cash value. All right, they've got a tip here. Here's a tip. The Colonial Penn Guaranteed Acceptance 995 plan has a 2-year waiting period. If you die during the waiting period, your beneficiaries will only receive a refund of the premiums you paid plus a small interest amount. You must live more than 2 years before Colonial Penn pays the full death benefit. I'm wondering, could you save that money and have that money plus some more? Could you do better? Most people fail to consider how much coverage you get for $9.95. So it says here, let's go down. This is $9.95 per unit, 1 to 15 units. 2-year waiting period. New applicant age range is 50 to 85. 50 to 85. It's available in all states. Policy duration is lifetime, fixed premiums, and then you've got no on all of that. So coverage by the unit. It says, what is this? Because I don't know what this is. I saw that and I was just like, what is coverage by the unit? Obviously, I have no insurance background. Colonial Penn sells their senior funeral insurance by the unit. A unit corresponds to how much life insurance a person gets based on age and gender. I'm used to it being like, can I get $100,000 worth of insurance? Can I get a $200,000 policy? Something like that. But yeah, I'm confused. No matter your gender or age, everyone still only pays $9.95 per month. What you must consider is how much coverage each unit provides. See, I don't like this unit thing. This is not how people in the real world talk. This is when you have people making complaints to the BBC or the Federal Trade Commission because they think they bought one thing and it turns out they bought something else. Regular people don't go around saying, I bought 3 units of coverage from Colonial Penn. They just don't. They want to know the dollar amount that their kids are going to get to put them in the ground. No matter your age or gender, everyone still only pays $9.95. Okay, once you look at a Colonial Penn rate chart, you quickly, not necessarily, you quickly realize that Colonial Penn's guaranteed acceptance plan is costly relative to what other life insurance companies charge. Great, I guess we're going to have some sort of comparison here. For example, a 53-year-old male only gets $1,515 in coverage for that $9.95 monthly and has a 2-year waiting period before he'd even get that, right? The older you are, the less coverage that a single unit provides. Below is a chart and calculator that outlines exactly how much coverage each unit provides. I think this whole unit thing is part of the issue. Can we just get rid of that? Can we require some transparency here? This is when we talk about consumer protection laws and where they drop the ball. Because I don't want to have to calculate what a unit is. I want to know exactly what the amounts are. Don't talk to me about units. So age, and you've got it broken down, male, female. And so with 1 unit, this is how much coverage you get at $9.95. If you were, yeah, I mean, look at how low these amounts are. And for some people, I'm not knocking low coverage because for some people this can help. This may be like a gap piece that they're getting for something else. I just don't think they're being very transparent here about helping people understand how much coverage they're actually getting. So yeah, if you like, why even buy this at age 80 if you're a guy and you're going to get $426 in coverage? And you're not even going to get that unless you live another 2 years, right? It says, is Colonial Penn coverage that Jonathan Lawson promotes worth buying? Y'all keep throwing his name in here. Like, look at, so we go through this and it's like, despite Jonathan's claims on TV about how good Colonial Penn life insurance is, the $9.95 plan is far more expensive than other insurance providers. The life insurance data show other options yield much more coverage for the dollar spent. And so let me just click on this for a second so that we can see what it is they're talking about. Okay, so yeah, I'm not going to go through all of this. Let's go back. Furthermore, unlike with Jonathan Lawson of Colonial Penn, most people can secure life insurance with no waiting period elsewhere. Elsewhere, you can go elsewhere and not have a waiting period. That statement is true even if you want final expense insurance with pre-existing conditions, meaning you're already sick. You can find other options. This is what they're saying, with better coverage, and it doesn't have a 2-year waiting period. So it says, for example, a 65-year-old male would get $896 of life insurance from one $9.95 unit to get roughly $10,000 in whole life coverage. He would need to buy 12 units. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is this mess. Okay, this is this mess that they have going on here. Instead of just telling people, here's what you need for $10,000, here's what you need for $5,000, here's what you need to pay to get $1,500. But that's not what they're doing. They say $9.95 and you can be covered regardless of what your medical background is, and everyone is guaranteed acceptance. And you can go ahead and get 1 unit and get, but what are you getting? What are you getting here? He would need to buy 12 units, which would cost $119.40 monthly, because he's buying 12 units to get up to that 10,000. Okay. And so that's 12 times $9.95. Do you see what just happened there? Do you see? You see, right? You had to do some math. That same 65-year-old man would pay only $56.48 with Mutual of Omaha for a $10,000 policy. Oh, look at the language that they're writing here. Oh, and the Living Promise policy from Mutual of Omaha doesn't have a waiting period. Now, of course, we don't see all the details about that policy here either. Wink, wink. Okay. But what they're saying is, and it's not just Mutual of Omaha that's better than Colonial Penn. Virtually every other life insurance company offers lower final expense insurance rates. Use our insurance quotes tool to compare Colonial Penn's coverage to other insurance products in your state. I think Mutual Choice, or whatever this is called, I think Choice Mutual, I think they were mad at Colonial and they said, you're going to bring the industry down. You're going to give us a black eye. This is not what we're trying to do here, because you're really trying to get over on people here. I think they were mad about this and they said, we're going to do a whole thing about this, and Jonathan, whatever your name is, we're going to stick you with it. All right, it says ultimately, when you analyze all the pros and cons of Colonial Penn life insurance, they are not a good buy. So it says how to find the best final expense insurance policy, and you've got some information there. You guys, I'm going to stick this link in the comments there so that you can find this out for yourself. Look at this excellent rating down here at the bottom based on 1,312 reviews from Trustpilot. So yeah, I mean, this is, I mean, look at this. Frequently asked questions. Does Jonathan Lawson really work for Colonial Penn? Yes. Is Jonathan Lawson an actor? I think in the traditional sense of an actor out there doing movies and TV and that sort of thing, but a person paid to promote who does not actually buy that product, or I don't know, a paid actor. I think what we would typically call him would be a paid spokesperson. Okay. But, they're trying to do what they were trying to do here too. So it sounds better if you just say he's a paid actor, right? It gets you wondering more than maybe a paid spokesperson would. How much is Jonathan's salary? Nobody really knows. How old is Jonathan Lawson? You guys looked him up and put this information in here. Like I said, they are truly going after poor Jonathan here. As of August 9th, 2023, Jonathan Lawson, so this was last year, is 43, and then they talk about where he was born, and his net worth. Now, I guess these are frequently asked questions that they have here. I want to switch over really quickly to this case that came out of Virginia, where Virginia said, hey, we have a problem. Colonial Penn Life Insurance Company, we have a problem, and we're just going to have a little talk about this because we don't appreciate some of what you've been doing here. And it says, okay, so they were duly licensed in the Commonwealth of Virginia to be able to sell this insurance. But it says down here, and I wish my highlighter thing was on. I guess if I had it on the other thing, you could really see it. That looks really bad, doesn't it? So I won't highlight. I'll take my little arrow here. By using an advertisement that was not sufficiently accurate, complete, and clear so as to avoid deception, and that had the capacity or tendency to mislead or deceive. By using an advertisement that omitted material information or used words, phrases, statements, references, or illustrations, and such omission or use had the capacity, tendency, or effect of misleading or deceiving purchasers as to the extent of the policy benefit. This is what the Commonwealth of Virginia came after them for. Look at this next one. By using an advertisement that minimized the required disclosures so as to confuse or mislead, by using an advertisement that contained statistical information without the identified sources, by using the term affordable in an advertisement when the policy being advertised was guaranteed issue. You guys, it just went on and on and on. Okay. And so the commission, so it talks about the commission being authorized to impose monetary penalties, issue cease and desist orders. They could even suspend or revoke their license to do business in the Commonwealth of Virginia. So how did this get settled? Because let me scroll back up here so you can see this. This is a settlement order that came out toward the end of last year, November 29th, 2023. So what happened with this? Well, here's how much they paid for their little misdeeds there. $30,300. You see that right here, okay? Right here. It says, through its settlement offer, the defendant has confirmed that it has complied with and will continue to comply with the corrective action plan outlined in the Bureau's letter and has tendered to the Treasurer of Virginia the sum of $30,300. And that's how they kind of got out of this. So that gives you sort of this information about Colonial Penn. If you're out there trying to find insurance, do your research. And it's really hard when they are selling units and not making it really clear how many of those units you have to buy to get the coverage amount that you want, and that there's this 2-year waiting period. Y'all, I just think this is a mess. I think there needs to be more transparency around this. We'll see. This has only been out here a few months. We'll see whether or not other states also say something about this or come after them. But because they are now changing what they're doing, it could be that other states are like, okay, well, we aren't going to come after them. They've already paid their fees. They're already switching back. But that does not help the consumers who already purchased this and thought they were getting one thing when they, yeah, we're just confused. Listen to me, confused. They were just confused because I'm confused. So it could be that some people still come after them. We could see this develop into more. So again, research it, ask questions before you buy. Peace.